just to see on my phone. It's still loading.
Let me open the stream as well.
Okay, we're live.
Yeah.
Okay, we're live. Everything's okay, sound is good. Hey guys, welcome back to our journey. So, Val, do you
Yeah.
want to make an update?
So just a rundown from what we were able to go through yesterday. The transaction page is almost completed. To start off with today's stream, we're probably just gonna do a delete button for for the transactions and maybe an update for the manual transactions. And then after we're done with that, maybe in the second stream, which is going to be around 7 o'clock UK time, we're going to start going through the invoices page. And yeah, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. As long as we're able to complete the transaction page within the first session, I think will be good progress. But in terms of general progression, we've got all of our Stripe connections working. And yeah, as you can see, we have the transactions table, which the user will be using to just manage and see all of the transaction for their specific project. And we're able to select the graphs we would like to be using. The only thing is we haven't finished them off because we realize it's probably going to be better for us to do so when we have all of the data imported. So once that's done, we'll be able to finish them off and then make a start on the dashboard page, which would be a general dashboard for all of the projects rather than the specific projects like you could see on the screen there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So I've decided to let these graphs for the last. And now we're focused on the transactions table. So most of our transactions are coming from Stripe. So we've added a way you can add a menu of transactions from this button. So now we would like to make a functionality that you can edit or you can delete the menu of transactions. So now, what I'm thinking, so first we can make this button with an icon because all of our
Yeah,
buttons are with the icons, so just for consistency. And then we can make something like in Supabase. Basically, I saw that here. So if you see, if you click on a specific row, there is
uh-huh.
a button with a like
Maybe
delete, how many rows you would like to delete. And I
uh-huh.
believe that we can do that as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And also, but
Yeah.
for edit, how we're gonna do the edits? So basically, if you click here, or we can make something like in the example, like just an edit.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna do the three dots, oh no. Because I was gonna say we do a three dot menu and then we keep delete and edit there.
And if you would
Mm.
like to delete more, just to select.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then you have that functionality as well.
Okay. Okay, so then let's just fix this button first. So let's just start the project and find this button.
I
So
mean,
that's the
we
mhm.
we could stay consistent with the design and use the same one we use for add project, which would just be a plus
Okay.
in a square. Click on where the project switcher is.
Project switcher, okay.
It's literally just look line 670. Yeah,
Plus,
there you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just to see how
Yeah, look
uh,
how it looks.
no, how was the prop for an
Ah,
icon because I forgot. So a button with icon. Okay, just the icon inside it. Okay, so let's see. So
if you
here
want,
the plus
you
icon,
can,
right?
yeah, you can grab there should be a it should be on a style in there. Oh no, it's already there, never mind. It's got the class on it.
As you see. Oh, damn, I edited the dialog title, not the button. Is this one? Okay, it's loading. Sour stream, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I can see it. Open.
yeah, the icon is here. What do you think?
I don't know, maybe it's the screen, but it's a bit blurry. Add grab the style div that's around the plus tag to make it the same. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but this is
No,
that's
no,
a
look
link.
on. No, no, look on 69, line 69.
Mm.
That div that's around the plus.
Oh, I'm. But this is because it's outside of the text.
Um,
It's not gonna look the same here.
let's just see.
See, all of our icons are
Yeah.
just the same
Well,
color.
we could use the same. We could use the same as the other buttons then
Mm.
that are on the table.
Yeah, so like this, but with a
There's no
with a
circle
circle.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here on the filters can be something else, not plus. Because
Yeah.
probably like on the view.
It's called List Filter Plus.
And
Or you could do funnel.
let's see, where is this? Here's this one. What did you say? Funnel.
Uh, Funnel, yeah. FUNN, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that looks way better. Okay. So then do we need circle here? Probably not.
Probably not. Whoever made Google Meets, they need to allow you to like go full screen.
We can think of something else for our next meeting. Probably Discord or something like that. So you can see my screen better. Okay.
I zoomed in manually. It's fine. Okay. I'm not bad no more. Okay.
So now what we can add is last column with these dots.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is gonna be actions. Wait a second to get it from the example. Okay. So let's just make this row actions because it has to be per project. Okay. Transactions table row actions. And we have to export it. Okay. So let's just see. We don't need copy. Like view details, we don't need. Edit and delete, we need that. And then labels, we don't need it. Okay. So let's see now. Okay. Probably it gives us errors. Yeah. So here in the columns, we can add our component. Okay. 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 So delete model, we're gonna leave it for now. Edit doc as well. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So now when we click on the last icon, we can style it better. But for now when you click, there are actions and edit and delete as well. So instead of details, it should be delete transaction and edit transaction. So we can make this icon color as well red. What do you think?
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I would probably say maybe we color the icons and we keep the text all black.
Here, let's see. So here on color, wait a second to check how can we add color of the icon. destructive. Let's see. Okay, so how can we probably fewer at 600 text. Okay.
Mm.
So now what we use, okay, so let's just use the one. Can we use just text error or um, because destructive. Let's see. So you can use the same one for our like pages. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
So let's just use it everywhere. So in the row actions as well. Yeah. What do you think now?
Do you know, I'm actually looking at the
The stream.
amount.
Oh,
I don't know if I like the amount to be colored. I think it's probably better to have just the icons colored.
yeah, right. Let's see. So remove it from here. We can make it both. What do you think now? Are you watching the stream or there is a delay in the meeting?
Oh, there might be the limits. I don't know if I like it bold, you know. Just make it, yeah, regular. Yeah, I think it's better this way.
Okay. Okay. So once you click on the edit, we can make the edit first if you want.
Yeah,
So we can use the same model like here, but
yeah,
just pass the data.
uh-huh.
And we can change the title as well. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the name of this component to be create edit dialog. And here we can make see so create edit transaction dialog, let's say. Yeah. So if we pass initial data, like default values, or if we pass a transaction, existing one, so that's not gonna be required. So if there is a transaction already, we can use the amount. If there is no, we can use just the 0. So do you know the difference between these two question marks and two lines like this for or?
This is the thing I've seen in the lecture. Um, One of them is that there has to be a value, and then the other one is it's not required to have a value, maybe.
No,
No?
no.
No. Tell me.
So if you type a variable, let's say test, and
Yeah.
then two question marks or 1, 2, 3,
Uh-huh.
so string, let's say. So this is a parameter that says if the value before that is null or undefined only, then
Okay. Yeah.
skip it and show this value. But
Ah, okay, yeah.
the difference between these two, so this it says if the values is falsy value, then show me the second one.
Uh-huh.
But you know in JavaScript falsy values are false, like the Boolean
Uh-huh.
false, then 0 is also false value. So if we
Yeah.
type here 0 or question marks 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
that means it will get 0.
Uh-huh.
But if you type 0 or 1, 2, 3, this is a false value. So it's gonna get the 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why you
Yeah.
use here uh, two question marks, because the amount can be 0. Again, the second parameter is 0 again, so there is no difference. But if we decide to make the default value to be 50,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to carry a bug.
Okay.
Yeah. The question mark on the types make it not required, but this is just only for TypeScript.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So amount and the type can be the transaction, the type, or undefined. So do you know what is this question mark while we are using variables?
Isn't it the same thing you just said? Or no?
Oh, so if
Okay.
there is a transaction, it will get the transaction type. Otherwise, it will make it undefined. Like, so
Ah.
undefined, and then two question marks will continue to the second thing. And
Mm-hmm.
also, if you remove this one, you're gonna see that the TypeScript tells you transaction is possibly undefined. So you cannot have undefined dot type because this is gonna throw an error.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to be sure that if there is only a transaction, then get the transaction type.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, here is the value. So on submit, um, we can use two methods here. So the first one is if there is already a transaction, so that's gonna be edit. So type a comment edit. So that's gonna be updated transaction. So we will get of the values from transaction, they structure it, fill in the
Mm-hmm.
object, and then just override the amount because you can change only the amount.
Yeah.
I believe we should or we can allow them to edit the type as well. Yeah, problem. Why not? Because if we make a mistake and make it expense, we just like to edit it to be
Yeah.
okay. So the
You know, when we're adding currency, we need to come back as well.
what?
When we add currency.
Yeah. So let's just see. So this is okay. This is gonna be new transaction. So this is an edit updated. So we should here use, let's say, update transaction. We can make now a function, and then we can add a toast that says transaction edited successfully or updated successfully, and we can then close the model and return it to not continue. So in that way, if there is a transaction already, it's gonna override these two values. It's gonna update. It's gonna make update request to our database. It will show the toast. It will close the model, the dialog, and will stop the function to here from here. But okay. So then the other thing that we can do is, let me think. Okay, this is a new transaction. So we can make now the update transaction call. So we're just gonna copy this one. So that transaction, we're gonna receive the transaction. So what we're gonna make is, instead of insert, we're gonna make update, and we're gonna update the whole transaction, and we're gonna make a where clause. The ID is the same. So we don't need to select it. We don't use it. So let's just think more about that. So we have to show the error as well. Let me just think. So we can remove this try catch because we have only one. We have the try catch inside this one, so that's not gonna break our code. So here, how can we do that? We can get the error. If there is an error, we can show that error and stop all the things. If not, we can continue. So here you can do the same. If there is an error, show it. And so I'm gonna do that better, just to find a way how to update all this stuff. So now on the action, we're gonna update the record with where clause that says for the same ID, and then if there is an error, we're just gonna return let's say error file, or what we can do for a user. There is an error while, I don't know, what kind of message we can show to them.
There is an error when creating the transaction.
There is an error while you are updating. It's too long. Error
Updating or creating
occurs
transactions.
while updating transaction. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so the same we can do here. Okay, we don't need to get the data. So now let's just fix our function. So if it's an edit, we can make something better. So let's say this is a data. So if there is a transaction, that's gonna just get this object. Okay. And if there is no, that will create our new object. No. Don't like it in this way. So edit, if there is an error, so let's see. So if there is an error,
Also, you might have to update the description.
yeah. So this is gonna be updated response. So if there is an error inside it, show to them the error. And stop the loading. Okay. If there is no error, show them a message. Transaction updated successfully, close the model and exit the function. So then for create, it's gonna be the same. So create response. So if there is an error, remove the loading, show that errors to them, and exit the page and exit the function. But if everything's okay, show them a toast, close the model, and that's it. Okay. So now what we can do is there a to-do revalidate table data. So we have to update our table once we make a insert or let's say update. So there is two ways. I want to explain that. So there are two ways of doing that. So let's just say, so you know that there is a client form, a client pages,
Mm-hmm.
and there are server pages.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on how your data is shown in the grid, how data is loaded. You have two choices of updating the grid, the table. So if there is a client, so I'm gonna explain first this because that's the most common way in React world. So you make a fetch request
Mm-hmm.
with the API fetch,
Yeah.
and then you put all of your data in a table within a React state, right?
Yeah.
You have a use state and stuff like that. So then when you have an update here, so you click on the update, so you make the update. So you click on update button, you make the update. So what you have to do is to refetch the data again
Mm-hmm.
or pass the updated record and map it in the state.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to map the new state, right?
Yeah.
So basically fetch, show the data, update, and map the new state. And when you set state, it will render the page, and that's gonna update our table. So that's the React world. So
Uh-huh.
Next.js world has a server pages. So how we do right now? So we don't fetch, we fetch them on the server, and shows the table, and the data comes from props. So you fetch on the server and you pass the data as a prop. So that's our situation with transactions.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna show you the component. So we have a page. This is a server page because there is an async.
Mm-hmm.
We get the data on the server and we pass the data as props. This is a prop. We
Mm-hmm.
pass it. So we don't have a state, we don't have anything. So then we have again update button. So we click the update button. This makes the request to the database, and we can't update the state because there is no state, there is a prop.
Yeah.
So how this can work, there is a tool that says, so from this update, once it's successful, there is a tool in React that says revalidate path. So that means you pass the path of your file, page, or something like that, and that's
Uh-huh.
gonna refetch the server data and will pass the new props.
Okay.
Yeah, so revalidate path will refetch the data and pass it to the table, to the component. And that way, it will go again to the table. So in our situation, we use this. So
Uh-huh.
it's really easy, just a one function revalidate path. And you probably wonder where you have to do this. You have to do it in a server action. So that means you have to revalidate it on a server action file. So we have already that. So we have a function that updates our transaction. So if
Uh-huh.
everything's passed, so that means if there is no error, we can just revalidate our path. So our path is /dashboard /project ID. So this project ID comes from the transaction. We can get it from here, and then slash transactions. So that's our route of the page. So that will revalidate the path, this path, and this path is actually our place where we fetch the data. So we can do the same here on the update. So that's gonna revalidate as well the same path. So so now when we're here and refresh our page, so once let's just test the edit. So once we click on the edit, we didn't add the function. So let's just create the transaction for now. So let's say there is a 100 amount and it's type for expense. So this is gonna make the request. It will
Uh-huh.
update the database, and you see that the value is here because it's
Uh-huh.
revalidate and downloaded it and it's here. So there were two loaders. We're gonna see that why. So it's something from that project that we changed right now. So on the create, there is a create. There is no error. Um,
Wait, can you create another
yeah,
um
you didn't
what do you
see the
call it?
logic.
Transaction? No, no, I want to see if it refreshes the whole page or just a component. So,
It's not refresh. It's download the data and show it directly. There is no
okay.
yeah. So let's just see here. It's something happens with the loaders. Let's just see. So after we are ready, we can reset the form, because if you open it again, there are data. So we can stop the loader. We can reset, show the toast, or we can do it like this. I'm gonna make this more simple, but let's just see again. So click on the create, type a new amount. So you see here a loader for the creating, and once it's
Yeah,
ready, it will close the model, and you are
yeah,
gonna see only the data. It didn't refresh the page.
yeah.
Okay.
No, I thought you refreshed it. You know when you load
Mhm.
the page, like
Mhm.
all the graphs move.
Yeah.
But you know the toast error,
Mhm.
there is no toast success, or at least I didn't see it, even though we've coded it.
There was, but I'm gonna explain what's happening. So when
Oh,
you type here to success, we have just
oh, because we're closing the model.
yeah.
It, yeah.
So yeah, we can close it after that. Um, just to think something else. So revalidate, we revalidated it. That's cool. But this
Uh-huh.
is making on the server, so it's gonna start reloading.
Uh-huh.
It starts refetching while this is not closed. So that's why it's closed and then it's reopened again. So
Oh.
we have to figure that out. Um, can we use a validate part here? I'm not completely sure. Let's see. Um, after all this happens. Oops. Yeah, it works only on server component. Um, so let's just think more about that. So we can revalidate it still. Okay. So we have to find a way to create a transaction and to show that to the user and revalidate it. So we can do something else. So here let's just make a function. We can make at the end a server function. Um, that's gonna be a revalidate just to see if it's working. So that revalidate will be your server. I just see. Okay. This is starting revalidating our data. Um, Okay, I'm gonna return the try catch method so we can throw an error instead of return an error. I just come on. Yeah, so it's this one. So here we have a create, so we can have an update as well. If transaction dated transaction type, and here it can be update transaction. So that's gonna be the new. Okay, so we're gonna show the error, the toast, and finally we're gonna do something like this. Okay, toast error message. Okay. So here we're gonna throw error here as well. Okay. Uh, uh, so we're gonna show the error, and let's just see it's working right now. I'm gonna explain you everything. TV toaster is here, but again, it's
It close quick.
yeah. Let's just remove this one and see what's going on.
Mm.
Okay, so we can do it like this. Else, so we can update like this. Okay. Okay, we're gonna think more about that later. I'm gonna put it to do. So let's just try the edit one. So here on the edit, that's gonna show edit dialog. Uh, so if you click on the edit, we're gonna just show the edit dialog, or edit transaction, let's say. So we're gonna set the edit transaction. That can be transaction or no. So initially it's gonna be no initially, and after that, once you click on the row, it will pass the row, which is, so instead of t data, that's gonna be transaction. I don't need a generic as well. Okay. Cool. How to pass the values? Row to original. Yeah. Okay. So once we have the edit, if we have an edit, what we can do is we can show a new dialog. That's gonna be edit, create edit transaction dialog, and on quotes we can add on quotes as well. Function, actually, yeah, on quotes, and that can be an optional function. So if we have everything, okay, so here we can just so if we have an on quotes function, we'll call it because that's only for the update purposes. Okay, so here in the row, we're gonna close the edit transaction. So let's just see. One more thing I forgot to change the label. So if there is a transaction, that's gonna be edit transaction or create a new transaction. So here the description can be, if there is a transaction, it can be it can be edit or can be create. How can I? Okay. I just see if you click on create, there's gonna be a create. If we click on edit, so let's say we want to edit this 500 transaction. Oh, that's open deep. That's gives us the button. Okay, so we have to change this into a model and not into a dialog. Okay. So that's an easy job. So we can get this dialog inside page in the toolbar, I believe. Yeah. So here we can make something like this. So dialog trigger. And then you can have the plus icon. Let me just think more. Yeah, and here on the dialog content, we can just render the content. Okay, like this. So here we will have create edit model. It's gonna be only the model without buttons or stuff like that. So that's gonna be just the content. Like this, and we're gonna remove everything else. Okay, and we can make it like this dialog content. Okay, so we have the content, only the content of the dialog, because buttons are different. The create is different and the edit is different as well. So we have to remove this set open. So then we can for sure we need an onCalls function that we're gonna call here, and then is loading. Do we need loader? Damn. So loading putter. Yeah, we use it. Okay. So project ID is here, form is here. Okay. Okay. So we can remove these imports that we don't need. And here on create on the toolbar, we can just render our create edit dialog content. And we have to pass, I just see, let's just see in their documentation how we can close the dialog. Custom close button. Let's see. Dialog close. Okay, we don't need this one. Okay. So we have to have a state. Is create dialog open. Okay. So once we click on the button, that's gonna on quotes. So here we have to pass the DAO to false. Okay. So I believe that's it for the create. Is there anything that is not okay? But if no, so here in row actions, we can have the DAO content only, and we can create our own dialog, which is gonna be already open because it's inside this function. Okay, let's see now. On open change. Okay. So if open is false,
Take the stream because I could hear there's bad connection on the mic.
on the mic.
Or
Which
like,
mic?
yeah, your one.
Yeah,
But
no,
no, I think, you
it's
know when you, it's fine, it's fine. I would, because you could hear it like just disappear, and I was like, oh, I hope it didn't lose connection.
okay. So let's just see what's going on here. Okay. So if I click on edit, yep, it loads the. So we can make these save changes disabled if there are no changes, because that's gonna make a
Changing.
request.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this dialog, so there is a really cool. So disabled, it will be if it's if there is an edit mode and form dirty. Is there a way you can check is the form dirty? Let's see ref hook form. I believe there is a function. Ref
I mean,
hook form check is dirty. That means if the initial values are different from
different, yeah. Oh.
is dirty. Yeah, there is in form state. Let's see. Form state is dirty. Yeah. So now yeah, let's see why. Form state is dirty is false. Oh, It's disabled only if it's not dirty. So that means if it's not changed. So edit, yep, so that's it. They can't edit it. So if they close it, they close it.
Nice.
And this button is not clickable if you click it only once. We're gonna see what's going on right in a moment. So if I want to edit a form, so let's say this is gonna be 300. Yep, so it's updated it. But
But
updated
the
date, let's just see what's happening. It's 300. I have 2.
wait, check the
Wait,
time.
no. See this thing.
Oh,
There is a post, so probably I didn't return. No, there is a else. Okay, let's see what's going on. So again, I'm gonna open my network tab. So we're gonna edit. So let's say we're gonna edit this one door. It's gonna be 15. Okay. It's here, it's only 1. Let's see if there is something else that is 15. Okay. Okay, it's 15. It's here, but the update date is wrong. That means something with our format is not okay. Let's just see. It's 902. So updated at probably something with the format here. No, 905. In the
make another one.
database it's no, in the database it's 690. That has to be. Let's just do something else. Because I'm more familiar with this format. Let's see. 902. That's let's remove this console dialog first because it's bothering me. Where is it? And I'm gonna remove all these cards so it can load faster. Okay. Let's see why. Okay, transactions. Okay, that's the server. So it's 690, but something with this. Okay, let's just console log. Okay, where are our coms? Here. So here on the oh man, see how are you here? You're mute? I can hear you.
Yeah, I was mute. I was drinking water, that's why.
Ah, okay.
But I'm
See,
here.
see this
Yeah,
one.
radiated at.
Yeah. Ah, damn.
We can take a break if you want. We've been
No.
streaming for an hour.
Uh, I'm gonna just make one coffee because.
I already finished the first one, even though it was a small one.
Okay, invalidate. Cool. So if there is no date, we don't want to show this because updated is not date. So if there is no date, so if it's only a date, and if it's not, then just show no, like this. Or I like this syntax is more. I don't know why, I just prefer it. Okay, so let's see. If there is no date, we don't show it. And this is 905, which is again wrong. Okay, let me console log this one. Updated at is a valid value. So let's see if I wrap it in day.js. It's 980, but the format is not okay. Oh, I believe it has to be lower m because minutes are displaying like that. Let's just see. Yeah. So minutes has to be always lowercase. I don't know why, but this is just the format. Yeah, so let's just update it. Oh, it's okay. Okay, cool. It's 990. So let's just update it one more time, just to be sure. So here in the database, there are 19 rows. And remember this one, the ID should be not changed, only the transaction amount and the updated ad. So this is going to be 60. It has to show the new, yeah, it's 25, 60 at here. And then in the database, ID is the same. Come on. I don't want to refresh. Probably because I selected it, it's not updated then. So 19
There you go.
again, it's 60, ID is the same, only the updated one. Okay, cool. So later today we're gonna fix this model, but let's just see something else. So how can we fix this row action because it's not opening every single time? So why it's a dialog? Let's just see. If I click it, okay, this is clickable, so probably it's something from the model. Can we have this sided one? No. Okay, it's something from the two dialogues. Let's see if there is a, yeah. So here edit. Okay, let's just see how this guy makes his code. So in the columns, there is a data table row actions. That is this one. So he has one dialog with a drop down, and he renders everything inside it. Only the content. He renders only the content of the. Okay, we do the same. So we have to remove this one and just load. Because it's dialog in dialog, and probably something happens in the chassis and design system. Let's see if it's from that or no. Refresh it. Yeah. So click on the edit. No.
Mm.
Let's see why. So he has content without close it. How? So edit, he has edit as a trigger.
You do well.
Okay, it's the same. And then he has only the dialog content, which is a component edit dialog. Let's see what's inside edit dialog. So he passes, he has form, which is the same. It only has the header. There, oh, got it. So header form.
What did you do?
So here we have dialog content. Okay, I believe that's not a problem. Can I remove this on course? Probably it's from this on course function, because the dialog has already a native one, and once you override it with another one, and it's dialog in dialog, something happens. Hmm. We're gonna find it out. Testing. So let's see how dialog menu, and then after the menu, he just shows the dialog content. Yeah, let's remove this dialog content just to see if it's from that one or no. Yeah. So let's see. This should be dialog content. Okay. Dialog menu should be the same. Well, I have no idea why is this.
Maybe ask our friend, just because.
Why when dialog is when in edit dialog is shown and close it again, my edit drop down, action drop down is not clickable. Dialog trigger inside drop down menu.
Remember, it was the same thing with the link yesterday. I think it's just the structure you gotta follow for ShadCN.
Okay, let's just see how it's in ShadCN. So, is there a dialog, but not like this? A drop down menu here. Here it is. Okay, let's see how they've mentioned. So, drop down menu trigger.
Trigger
Yeah,
outside of content.
now drop down has to be outside. Okay, let's see again. So drop down menu trigger. So menu trigger is here. It's this
Content menu.
content. Wait a second. So trigger. So then you have a content here. So label crew. So label, we have label again, actions, okay. And then we have separator, but there is no trigger here.
Yeah, the only trigger is on top. Oh, we're using a trigger.
Oh, it's here. Okay, menu, item. So in this item, there should be a trigger, but not at this dialog trigger, because this is it has to be on the dialog. Let's see. Dialog state is handled implicitly. Okay, let's see. Drop down menu trigger. Content
Oh, they
is,
changed it to a span.
yeah, no, see this one. It's only there is no trigger, so it's like this. Okay. Okay. Drop down menu item. Okay. And then there is a dialog which is uh, which is on interact outside. No, and this is, if there is an edit transaction, then it's only opened. Okay. Let's just see. I believe we don't need this one. So if it's open, so if open is equal to false, then this one, otherwise don't do anything. So let's see now. Interesting. It's new, but why is this showing? Where is this comes from? So columns, so it's page, two bar, oh, got it. It's from here. Okay, I just do it like this. Okay, okay, cool. So we have this create, and we have the edit one, but this is not clickable again. What's going on? Ah, even without the dialog, it's not clickable again. Okay, let's just get an example from here. Is there something like less? Okay, so let's see how this first is working. So I'm gonna copy this and you make this here. Okay, so okay, come on. Okay, so where is our code? Nowhere. Cool. So in our actions, in our columns, we have this component, which is coming from okay. So we don't see the button. It's here, but we don't see it. Okay, for sure I need a coffee. Okay, so let's see. There is an open. When I click it, it chose this one. Okay, that's the right structure that we have to use. So let's just now leave only the first. So my account. So let's see, my account, the last item is keyboard shortcuts. So from keyboard shortcuts, remove everything until content. Okay, where is content? Content. Okay. So again now, let's see. This is, I click it, it's working. Okay. So now let's just copy the button. That has to be here. So button and an icon, more horizontal. Now when you click it, okay, that's working. So now let's make a,
Be careful now.
so now let's make a, now let's delete all of these, we don't need them, and let's make an edit. So here edit transaction should be text, we don't need key, so icon should be pencil. Pencil icon. So let's see. Why it's not okay. So pencil. Okay. Okay. Click it and nothing happens. Okay. So now where is the trigger? So is this has on select? Okay. So here we can make a state edit transaction, set edit transaction, use state false. It's not false, it's no. So here we can get the row because that's our type. Let's just copy the types. Okay, this is transaction. This is a row. Okay, so row set edit transaction to row to original and get the use state. Okay, let's see now. One by one, action by action. We're gonna handle it. When I have to leave for work?
In like an hour.
Oh, cool.
Or
Um, so that's gonna be, that can be transaction. That's the type of the state. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Okay. So now we have to show dialog. Let's see. Let's just copy just a random dialog from here. So that's the dialog. We don't need trigger. Need only content, header, We don't need description. Let's say title, and let's say one label and one input. And a footer. Okay. So this dialog should be open only if there is edit transaction. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, it's open. If I close it, I have to make a on open change, so we get the value. So because our state is a transaction, we can't use this one because this is a boolean. So what we need is only if it's false, if it's true, nothing happens. If it's false, then set edit transaction to false, to no, because the type is different. Otherwise, you should keep two states. There is no reason of keeping two states, one for transaction and one for is open or not. So yeah, this thing is buggy something. Maybe because of the types. Because if I open the dialog and then I can't open it again. Okay. So let's just do something else. Is edit dialog open? Set is edit dialog open. So here we just use false. So here when you click on the edit, it's gonna be true. Here we're gonna pass the state, and here we're gonna show is edit dialog open. Okay, so let's just check. Maybe because of the type or something happens when there is a drop down and dialog in the same component. So edit, close. Nah, it's because of this. So let's see how can we have down and model in SaaS-building. So there should be a combination between that and able to use dialog in a drop-down menu. So that's what we need. So if you want to have a dialog pop-up from a drop-down menu, for example, a drop-down menu to edit a user, which would be pop-up a dialog box model to edit it. You have to do it like this. The key is prevent default call. Okay, that's not gonna. Let's see something with more likes. So here there is something. The only way we make it work was to render the dialog outside of the dropdown and handle control manually. So there is a dropdown and you have, oh, I know what's going, maybe can happen. Because you have a trigger, but you don't show which is control. And when there is a dialog, maybe it's something happens with all of these states. And I'm thinking about this one. Let's just try it first. So event is here on select, so we don't want to have a a native event. Click. So let's just see. On select, it keeps it open. That's not the situation. Okay, let's just see if we have is drop down. If you control both of them, is drop down menu open. Set is drop down. Menu open. And I have something else in my mind that I want to try, but let's just try this one. So is drop down open. Okay. No. Okay, let's just try something like last one. So this guy have a state that shows the component. Maybe this has to be re-rendered with the new component, and that's how it works when you have so many.
You think we can render the column when we're grabbing the data back from the DB when you're loading it? Is there a way to reload the column?
Yeah, that's the way. You have to re-render some state so it can be rendered the component. So let's just try this one. So edit. Okay, let's just get it, because I believe this is the, so delete we don't need. So the dialog content is this one, but we have create, edit, dialog, transaction, dialog content. Okay, and this is the transaction, which is the row.original. And here it's a transaction. So we don't need delete dialog for now. Let's just see edit dialog. We don't have this one. Label options, we don't need it. So last menu, we don't need it for sure. Okay, let's just try one more time. Transaction, table, row, actions. Let's say. Okay, we have this thing. So edit. Nah. Whew. That's gonna be interesting. So let's see more. Delete content is, and there is a delete content. Okay, and edit dialog is actually, let's just see what's inside edit dialog. So let's just copy this and to test his functionality. So let's say this is edit dialog. Yeah. So we don't need formats. We don't need calendar. So let's just have one field for title, nothing else. Remove all the fields. Just have a button, like in our situation. And so this we can leave on the title, and here it can be transaction. And transaction instead of task can be transaction dot id and transaction dot amount, let's say, or type. Yeah. So let's just see how this works. So edit dialog. Okay, this is his example. If this doesn't work, something is broken with this table. No. Why is this happening? Okay. Make me a drop down menu where there is an edit button which will open a dialog with edit form with just a title. A drop down menu should be horizontal icon rendered in table. Use ShotCN, Next.js. So let's see how it works. So we have a drop down menu with a dialog. It just rendered here as a, yeah, let's just try this one because it looks easy. So this can be transaction table row actions, just like this for default. So let's just try it and we can enhance it. So no, cool. It's something from the structure for sure, but we have to find out why it's not working.
Why don't we just do an edit button and a delete button rather than going for a drop down?
I don't want to make it different because we can do it. Let's just find out its normal things of coding. I don't know. I know that we do like a rush because it's a live stream and we have to finish it. But
Uh-huh.
okay, so this is working from the comments. So they do. So this on select when you click on the edit button, they prevent all of the native functionality. So they don't close all of the models.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just get our initial theme. I don't have it. Or is this one?
Do you want to have a 5 minute break or a 6 minute break so we
Let's
can go
just
make coffee and use the bathroom?
okay. Yeah, we can do that and return back to finish everything. Okay, man.
Yeah.
See you guys
All right.
in just a bit. Okay, guys, we're back, and Val has 38 minutes. So we have to put that as a deadline and try to fix this drop-down content and make it work, so we can tick our transaction edit functionality as completed. So let's just try to start again and make it clear. Um, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna open this example that we have for the table, and we are gonna just get the raw actions as an example, make it work, and then change it with our functionality. So let's see, we don't have delete for now. So the edit, I'm gonna copy it because we're gonna use his edit just to make it work. So let's find it. This is the edit. So that's the edit. We're gonna remove all the fields, except of one field, just to be easier to track it. So let's say like this. We'll remove all of the unnecessary imports. Okay, we don't have these ones. So we're gonna remove all of these things and we're gonna pass our transaction. That's gonna be our transaction. So for the title, we're gonna use just the, let's say, source. Okay. So this is the edit details, and the raw actions we're gonna be, so edit models is from this page. We're gonna get the transaction. Just as a raw.original. So that's the edit dialog, and we have to pass a transaction here. And this is a transaction. Okay. So we have to export different this component. So that's gonna be transactions, table row actions. This is the transaction type. Here we can export the default as actions. So I'm gonna remove the delete. We'll remove the this thing. We'll leave only edit delete button. So we're gonna remove the copy one and the view details one. So this is the menu content, drop down menu, dialog, probably, yep, this one. Okay, so that's the raw component. So let's just give a try. So this shouldn't work because there is a problem with this drop down component, probably in the recent versions that are outside of this, that are released after this example. So let's just give a try. So when I click here, there is an edit. Oops. I edited the raw actions copy. So let's just get this and put it here. And we're gonna remove this file. Okay, so let's just give a try again. So this is the edit. When I click it, it will open the task. If I close it again, this button is not clickable. So the suggestion from the community is to make the drop-down menu item to prevent all of the native events. So here is a trigger. So this is on the item. So on select, we're just gonna prevent that because we have a trigger that will open our dialog. So the prevent is stop all of the native functionality. So that's make it our edit details drop down visible. And when we update it, it will be closed automatically, I believe. So let's just give a try. So that's the component. I'm gonna refresh it. And I'm gonna remove my console logs from here because it bugs me. So let's give another try. Okay, so it's rebuilt, done, everything's okay. When I click on edit to open this modal, and it closes the previous one. So let's just look at that again. So let's see something else. Most of the examples have a GitHub. So let's see if there are issues that are logged in. So closed, no, no. So let's just see which is the version of this Next.js. Oh, it's from 2 years ago. So here it works perfect, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow, we can get this as a, see the status has an icon, we can add our icon for incomes and expenses. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just see, let's just find out why this is not working and how we can implement it to work. So okay, if I move it out, this drop down, and have a drop down and a dialog, that's two different things. So let's just give a try for this one. So once, so we're gonna make this open if only there is a dialog content inside it. Let's just see now. Initially it's no. So once we click on the page, on the edit button, it should, dialog trigger must be used. We don't have trigger, okay. So let's see. Okay, we don't have trigger, but we don't need trigger because let's just get us an example, a dialog. Like this. There is header, title, description, label. input footer. So let's remove this drop-down menu for now. Okay, and think more clear about that. Okay, so we have a edit profile. When I click it, it's open, and we can click it again. Okay. And so let's think more about this. So wow, this is a button. So can we make it like a drop down dialog with drop down inside it? Shots
Isn't
in
that what it already is?
like a yeah, something like this. Let's see. So dialog, the dialog provider outside of the drop down menu content. Dialog content outside of the drop down menu content. Okay, where is the menu content? Okay, here. So there is a drop down menu and the content as well. So instead of having this trigger, let's just copy that. So this is a drop down inside it. So we have a trigger. Once we click it, it's open the pop-up and it's open this one. So let's just try. Yeah, the native one is not working. That's the problem for latest versions. So you can
Yeah.
prevent the default behavior of the onClick event, which I believe is renamed to onSelect. This way you can extract dialog logic in a separate component and simply include it inside your drop-down wrapper. Okay, so if we remove this from the edit or the pop, something like this, just give a try.
Wait, can you click anywhere else?
URLs, what do
No,
you mean?
anywhere else. So can you try click on create
No,
transaction?
nothing happens. It's blocked like the UI.
So,
And see, there is a warning, blocked area hidden because of something. Something
so
happens with
wouldn't
this dialog.
isn't it the model that's still basically open?
So oh, that's a cool example. So you have a drop-down menu, but inside the drop-down menu, instead of all triggerings, you have just a pure dialog. So let's just give this a try. So we have I'm gonna put it here. So we have this one. So let's just get this drop-down menu and put it here. Okay. So let's just give a try. So edit, and then when you see your custom dialog here, and the drop-down menu is prevented default. So basically that means you render the dialog inside it, and once you click it, it will get the dialog trigger that inside the dialog. So let's just try. Trigger, when you click on edit, navigate to the edit page or click on the console. So when you click on the delete, it will show this one, and when you return it back, yeah, okay. So that's how it works. So you have to keep the dialog outside of the menu. So if we have this one again here, open menu, edit details. So on the edit, we should put a on select, and here we can render our dialog, which was like before. So so here, let's just think more about that. So this is a dialog with a trigger and the content. So if we have the dialog here, so let's say dialog, that's gonna be the dialog. So we're gonna have trigger, that is our pencil, dialog trigger as a child. No, not as a child, but it's a dialog trigger. We don't have any button. So that's gonna be the trigger. So here there's a pencil and text. We'll use that one as a trigger. And below the trigger, we are gonna render our dialog content. And inside that dialog content, we are gonna render the, what was the component? Create edit dialog content. So we're gonna keep create edit dialog content, and we're gonna remove on close for now. So we have to remove all these things here, and we have to put on select prevent default. Okay, let's just give this a try. This is red because there is a type that requires on quotes always, and I didn't pass it. Okay, let's just give a try for this one. See what's going on. Okay, so click dialog trigger must be used within a dialog. Where is a dialog trigger? Oh, sorry, I have
Oh, I haven't closed that.
two
Oh,
dialog triggers. Okay, another try. Okay, click on this, edit is this, have this thing, and this is. So if we save it, okay, works. Whew. So let's just put the dialog content again here so we can reuse it in our component. Here it says dialog content. Okay. So in the page where we show, in the toolbar where we show the create dialog, we can have only the button. Okay. We even don't need this one. Let's remove it from now. So we don't need on course. We don't need this state. So just remove this on course for now. So let's see that the dialog content. And here in the row actions, everything's okay. We have a dialog inside the drop-down menu, and we're gonna have this dialog trigger with the pencil. So the trigger is, can we add classes? Make it, we can make it as this as child, and then render a button here. So it can be edit transaction and just a button like this. So let's just remove this one. and close the trigger. Okay, so we're gonna have like this, but we don't like a button like this. So let's just make it a way cooler. So variant can be ghost. Let's see now. No, so not as a button. So let's just add a class name here, which is L4, which is flex, and there's a gap just with 1. Okay, now this is not centered, so let's make it center and make a gap too. Okay, when you click it, it shows dialog title for the component, doesn't it? Oh, we have 2 dialog contents, sorry. Okay, when you can close it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna explain what I did because I know it's complicated. So I'm gonna remove all of this thingy. We'll remove this one. Don't need it. So what we have right now, remove all of the buttons that are not used. Icons is here, we don't need this one. Okay. So this one is coming from main. Then dashboard, project ID, transactions, types, okay. And the edit is coming from the same thing. This, okay. So I'm gonna explain what we did. So we have a column and we pass an ID and a cell. The cell is our row actions, so we keep it here. So what the row action has is actually a drop-down menu, which has, like, even can remove this one, which has a trigger. So that means when you click on the more horizontal icon, that's gonna open the mini.
Drop down.
Yeah, so just to remove this one. And we don't need this for now. Okay. That will open the drop down with the 2 actions. So one of the action will be edit and the other one will be delete. So this is the group actions that you see here. This is it, edit, delete, and then it's this, something interesting is happening here. So inside the drop down, we remove the native functionality. So once you click it, it won't close it because probably that's the native functionality below this onSelect function. And then we add our model. We have a trigger for that model, which is the pencil. So once you click it, it will trigger and it will open the content, which is our model. So this is just the content. So it's with header, with form, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So we reuse this same model inside our toolbar, which has another dialog. It has another dialog trigger, which has only the button. So once you click the button, it will again open automatically the content. So this one will be used for the create. So what we're gonna do right now is gonna test this one. So we're gonna create a new, let's say, 25 expense. So we're gonna save it. This won't close because I remove the cause functionality, which
Uh-huh.
will revalidate the thing. So we're gonna see it's here. So once we click here and click on edit, we should see the
Yeah.
amount. So I can type here. It's probably something from the types. Yeah, we're gonna see that. But I can type here.
Yeah.
So once you click on save, it should make an update. It will revalidate it, and you see that an update is
Yeah.
coming
It's
here, and the
closed. Yeah.
date is updated to
Mhm.
10:43. So I know that you don't have any more time, so I'm gonna
No, I can take another 5 minutes. Show me how to how we can change the type on the input now.
okay. So just to clear this
Yeah,
thing,
sure, buddy.
um, we can do that later. So what do you want to see?
You know how after we've tried to update the value,
Uh-huh.
you can only like you can't type in there,
Yeah.
but you can go up and down with the
Yeah.
arrows.
So that's probably because of the. So here, when there is a value, this is a number. This is a number as well. So when there is the full value, something with this is happening. So it's amount. You can type it. Let's just think more. I don't know if we remove this string. Uh, if we remove that type, it's gonna be type string.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll have to refresh.
wait a second. I just wanna be sure something. Here we can type,
Um,
but on the update we can't. And here something says blocked.
area hidden and anyone
I'm not
looking.
sure if it's because of this one outside. Because that's clickable.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do something else. We're gonna add title, which will be empty, not predefined or something like that. So
Uh-huh.
let's just make one more field, which is a title, and it's gonna be just a enter title. It's gonna be just a string, nothing else. Okay, so let's just try title. It's here, it's for title, and then it's empty. Okay, why there is an expense, I don't know. So let's just give it a try. So here we can type, but if we open this one, if this is blocked, yeah, it's something from the dialogues. I can
Yeah, we'll
type it.
have to see.
Um, we have to find it later today.
Yeah. I think it'll probably be the same thing where we'll have to
Yeah,
prevent default.
something is broken with this drop down inside dialogues and stuff like that. And we have to find a way how we can fix that out. But
Yeah.
yeah, at least we found out how we can. Yeah, once we find out how we can do it, because probably it's a bug from Shotzi and it's normal, we can progress faster because the other functionalities will be just the same. Just edit and copy and paste the code.
Yeah.
So that was from the first part, guys. Today was a little bit more different. We have a problem, but
Debug central.
yeah, that's a normal situation in